Do we have a major housing shortage for the start of 2022? And is months of inventory less than 30 days? Stick around to find out. Welcome back. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Andre with the Meta Group, and today we're going to talk about the Ottawa real estate market and a market update for December 2021. Probably the most exciting month because it's really going to give us an indication and a clear understanding of what to expect coming into the new year. We've had lots of questions for this. The numbers are finally out. They're released by the Ottawa Real Estate Board. I've gotten a chance to break them down, and I'm going to be super happy to share with you. So we're going to take a look at the month-over-month analysis. We're going to talk again about months of inventory, why it's so important for the consumer to understand this, especially in today's market. And we're going to take an article that was published by CTV that highlights 2021 and is going to give you a good understanding of what happened last year and what to expect. And this is super useful for those first-time home buyers that are entering the market. So without further ado, let's jump right into the numbers. So we're going to start with single detached homes for December 2021, and they were trading for $740,000. Now, they took a little bit of a dip compared to October and November, but it's completely normal for month to month to fluctuate a little bit. Semi-detached and townhouses both increased. For semi-detached, the average price was $690,000, and townhomes went up to $637,000 as the average price from $608,000 just a couple of months ago. Now, I always talk about townhomes being the most popular category of homes, and that's because it's what the average income producer can afford. It's what the families and couples are getting into as their first starter home. So always lots of competition on that. Condos took a little bit of dip. The average sale price was $399,000. Days on market were 25 compared to 21 and 23 for the previous months. Again, kind of steady there, no worries. Now let's take a look at months of inventory. I always talk about this. It's probably the most important thing that you should know to understand any market, whether it's in Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal, or even in a different country. So back in October, we had 1.2 months of inventory. What does that mean? It simply means that if no other homes came onto the market in exactly 1.2 months, there would be 0 homes for sale. So that doesn't give us a lot of time. Now, that also means that we are in a seller's market, not just a regular seller's market, but an extreme seller's market. A balanced market is somewhere where the buyer has enough time to go out and look at homes. There's enough options. You can go home, sleep on it, think about it, maybe go back for a second or third showing. In this case, we are looking at only a short period of time that the homes are on market. You have to get in as quickly as you can. There are other people looking for it, so lots of competition. Now, if you take a look at November months of inventory, it went down to 1 month. And then in December, we actually fell down to 0.7. In fact, residential homes were 0.6 months in December and condominiums were 0.7. So that's why we have 0.7. It's an average of the two, 6.5. We just rounded up. Now, what does this mean? So as you can see, overall, the last 3 months, the prices have started to increase, but the inventory has started to go down. Now, what can we expect in the next couple of months for the start of 2022? Well, it's pretty obvious. The competition, the buyers out there on the market, are competing for what's available, and there's not a lot. When the competition increases, the prices are going to go up. So this is quite normal to see that. So what are we predicting for January 22? I'm going to update everybody on social media probably about January 15th. I'll do a little bit of a mid-market update just to see what's happening. But that's where we are sitting for month-over-month comparison. Basically, prices are going up and inventory is dropping. Now, we do see during every year where inventory starts to pick up, and that's usually the start of Q2, so just after March. But right now, as of today, not too many homes on the market. So you are forced to look at what's available. There are people that have to move. They don't have the flexibility of waiting 6 to 9 months as most buyers do when they first enter the market. So let's hope that they are able to find something and be able to secure it. Let's take a look at the next slide, and that is months of inventory. So again, I talk about this all the time, and it's basically a calculation of how much homes are currently in the market and how long it would take until there's nothing else, if nothing came onto the market. Now, if there are more buyers than the number of homes available, like I mentioned, it is a seller's market. It's not a balanced market. And of course, in a market like this, it's the sellers that have the most advantage because the buyers come to them. They're in control, right? They're letting the buyers fight over their property or compete, go into bidding wars. And it's quite normal to see bidding wars, as we did last year in January, February, March, where buyers are competing for the same property. Now, of course, buyers do have to compete and pay a top premium price. And there is limited room for negotiations. Negotiations, that means conditions. So typically, if this was a little bit more of a balanced market, you can submit an offer with a home inspection, a financing condition. But in bidding wars, it's usually top price and an unconditional offer. So that's kind of where we are with months of inventory. Again, it really will determine what's happening in the market and what we can predict. Supply and demand being the big factor behind months of inventory. It's just going to really explain what's happening in the market. Let's take a look at an article that was published by CTV a couple of days ago. And as you can see by the great tagline, record-breaking 2021 for Ottawa real estate, kind of really sums up what happened last year in our market. Now, let's break down the numbers a little bit. So the average residential sale price, so the sold price in Ottawa for all of 2021 was $719,000. Now, that was a 24% increase from the year before. So that's how much the homes on average have appreciated or gained value in 1 year. 24% is a lot. Now, for condos, the average sold price was $419,000, and that was a 16% increase from the previous year. And again, condos on the rise right now. I've done separate videos. I'll link it up here. Where condos are the future properties in Ottawa, simply because it is what the average income producer can afford, and also because the prices are growing. But again, like you can see, 16% appreciation year over year is a great value for condos in general. So Penny here, Pero Taranto, talks about, he's never seen a market grow so fast. Again, mentions low inventory continues to drive price increases in the city. So again, this goes back to months of inventory, goes back to supply and demand, a basic economic factor that goes into the real estate market. So again, we have less than a month's supply of inventory, which makes it a seller's market. Exactly what I just talked about in the previous slides. When the months of inventory are so low, this is where we're at. We're in a seller's market. Check out the article. Head over to ottawa.ctvnews.ca or simply just Google record-breaking 2021 for Ottawa real estate. And you can take a look at the article and a little bit more in depth on the numbers there. All right, guys, there you have it. That was the market update for December 2021 for Ottawa. If you have any specific questions or need more info in a specific neighborhood, or if you're curious to know what the price of your home is in today's market, feel free to reach out, send me a DM. I'd be happy to send over some info. Stay tuned, guys, for the mid-January update on social media. And until the next one, thanks for tuning in, and talk to you soon.